3D printing car parts is a new fad that's going on. And don't get me wrong, it has its pros and it has its cons. And today, I'm going to tell all you motorheads about my experience 3D printing and prototyping a part. So I have a big brake kit for my black truck. More specifically, that truck right there. Now, these are the inner half of an 8-piston front caliper, and I have 6 pistons back there. Now, before anyone says, yeah, I know it's overkill, I don't care. I like big brakes. Big brakes look good, and they're going to stop me before I hit a sand trap or before I hit a wall, hopefully. But anyways, there's not a direct fit type of any sort of adapter or anything you can run on these, considering the front spindles that are on 88 to 98 C1500s have the brake caliper mounting cast directly into the spindle. Now, I have been looking all over, so I'm just going to pull up a quick, if I can, a quick image of the calipers or the spindles that I'm dealing with. So here, because I can't spell like an idiot. So these are what I'm talking about. So these ears right here have the caliper mounting in it. So you mount your caliper directly to your spindle. Now, for something like this, that isn't going to work. So I decided that I was going to look around and see what was available. Now, I haven't heard of this company before, but I do really like what they had to offer. Now, these are what I'm looking into. These are React 2-inch drop spindles for 88 to 98 C1500s. Now, because I am the way I am, I really want to try these. I want to see if they're going to work. But the problem is, I don't want to spend $400 to find out. So I took my 3D printer and my knowledge of Fusion 360 and how to construct 3D models, and I made this. Granted, it's not nearly as good as the final product, but it's just good enough for me to test fit on the truck, see how everything's going to line up within reason, because this thing is not accurate. I built this off of a couple photos and measurements. Like, for instance, there it is right there. That hole it's not a cylinder. Neither is that one. And more certainly, neither is that. So yes, there is some bad quality issues with this. But I know that this is as close to size as possible without me getting my hands on those. And this will give me the ability to get a rough estimate of how I can attach this to there. And as you can see, I'm not far off. So with how I'm going to be doing this is I'm going to be taking this, again, mounting it directly to the truck, which I'm going to record my entire process of trying to do this. I may rebuild this and actually hand draw this, because I like how this came out using just a few photos to essentially create a very lackluster model. Like here, I will show you exactly what I did. So I took this photo and a few others I could find online of their stuff. So here's another one right here. And what I did was I found this website, Automatic 3D. Now, what you do is you take a couple photos of whatever you're trying to model, and it will spit out an STL file or a mesh. Like this is a mesh. So what I did was I went to this. I did pay $10 a month to use this, which I'm probably going to cancel shortly after this. But here, for instance, that's what it spit out. Again, they look like shit. There is no reason other than to kind of prototype or just, you know, just help create something else using this. But then I just went into Fusion and scaled them to what I needed to scale them to. So so I know that this thread at the top of the spindle is 20 millimeters. So I scaled everything to that and made that 20 millimeters. And then just put it directly into my 3D printer. Now, this did, ooh, wait, no, there we go. So this process did take a while to do. I think in total of trying to get everything to work properly, it probably took me about 6 to 8 hours to get everything to work properly. And then it took another 14 and a half hours to print this. But yeah, as long as that hole, and this one line up to where they need to be, I don't care about these two. Well, I do care about these two, but I need to figure out how to connect these two to this. And while I'm doing all of this, I do intend on recording my entire journey and showing you how I do it. Do I think that I'm going to get a working product out of this? Absolutely. Do I think the way I went about it is the best way of doing it? Absolutely not. There's probably 1,000 ways that you could do this way better than what I did. But as an idiot who is trying to 3D print his own parts just to prototype with, I think I did a fairly good job. Like, again, I have a part in my hands that I did not have to spend $400 to get, just so I can see if my part is going to work. My big brake kit. And am I going to be doing this again in the future? Abso-freaking-lutely. And I think that anyone who has the availability to use a 3D printer and or use that 3D modeling software should use it. If they want to make their car their own, use it. Make it work for you. Granted, it's going to come with a massive learning curve. Like, I've probably got almost 10 years of 3D printing experience, and I've got another 7 years of using CAD software underneath my belt. So I know what I'm doing more than most, but it does not take very much to get into learning this and creating something like this. Like, again, I have things all around my room that are 3D printed to my liking, like how my Hot Wheels are being hung up right here. That's all 3D printed shelving. How my firearms are being hung on the wall. It's a 3D printed hook. It doesn't take much to get into the hobby, and especially when you're a car guy or a motorhead, this is arguably the best possible thing you can do. Because now you can take whatever you need, get a nice mock-up of it, put it on your car, and see if it's actually going to work before you spend $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 on a part. I know that's a little bit over exaggerative, but it still gets the point across. Like, again, at the end of the day, this right here, if you're going to include the cost of the 3D printer, my 3D printer is a Bamboo Labs X1 Carbon. It's a $1,200 printer, but it's a set and forget type of printer. But regardless of the cost of the printer, this part right here, with full size everything, how it is, cost me 20 bucks to make. Yeah, 20 bucks. It literally does not cost much. Like, I can show you what my printer mapped it out as. So, here, according to my 3D printer, just the cost in plastic alone was $8.38 using generic PLA. Like, this isn't made out of anything crazy. Like, it's cheap plastic, easy to use, and yeah, 14 hours and 26 minutes. It's all said and done. So, yeah, I mean, if you guys like this type of content, like, yeah, I'm going to continue doing this because I do plan on printing a lot of parts for my truck. Ones for prototype or possibly final production parts for like interior or specific mounting. Because, I mean, again, 3 photos and about 6 hours worth of time got me this. Now imagine what would happen if I took a lot of time, took a lot of skill in measuring everything. I would probably feel pretty good at putting 3D printed parts inside my interior or in my engine bay, depending on what I plan on doing with it. But this is awesome, and I am going to continue documenting my journey of doing stuff like this because this is cool. But regardless, I am going to have a good drink and I'm going to go to bed because this is very long. So I hope all you motorheads have an amazing day, and remember to like and subscribe. If you like this type of content, there's definitely more coming in the future, but there's these 2 videos. If you want to stay and watch something else and rather hear me rant and rave about something other than car parts, or you can hit this button right here in the middle. That, you know, just shows me that you support what I do and support my channel. But anyways, have a good night, y'all. I'll see you later.